All right, welcome into PrizePicks on 5 here on the 5 Reasons Sports YouTube channel. Thanks if you subscribe. If you don't, you want to do that because you can get all of our content on all the South Florida teams, but also beyond. We tend to have a South Florida focus here, but this is Thursday night, and so there's a Thursday night football game. It's a very good one tonight. I'm with David Eversole. You can follow him at David W. Eversole. We'll also get the picks from our guy David Friedman at Taco About Sports, although he's not with us tonight. You can follow me at 5 Reasons Sports. We always tell you at the very beginning, make sure you use the code. The code is 5. It's FIVE. That's the code. That's how you get your initial deposit. This is for initial depositors. You get that matched, and then you get access to all of the great promotions. So go to prizepicks.com, type in the code 5. As soon as you sign up and deposit, you got deposit. You can't do this without money. $20, and then you'll get that matched. If you want to go $100, you can do that. And yes, for those of you who are in Florida, which is a lot of our audience, it is legal in the state of Florida. Okay, so I know a lot of concerns about that, but it's getting legal in more and more states at this point, but it definitely is in Florida. But today we're talking about Wisconsin and Arizona, Green Bay, and the Cardinals. Stunning that the Cardinals are 7-0, although I thought Kyler Murray was a dark horse MVP candidate, so I probably should have put some money on it on another platform. But David, we'll start there, and then I got an NBA pick. The Packers don't have Davante Adams tonight. That does change the equation a little bit, although great stat that our guy Jim Rodriguez gave me. The Packers are 6-0 without Davante Adams over the past few years. So they can win without him because Aaron Rodgers finds ways. So I guess the question is, what way is he going to find tonight, right?
Oh, sorry about that. It's going to be a big game, I think, for Aaron Jones, both in the passing game and on the ground. And Randall Cobb's number has been really interesting. I actually got him early today, around 42 yards. And also, Marquez Valdez Scanling is out. So he doesn't have a lot of pass catchers. So you're going to look for those guys. But I actually went to the Arizona side with their new acquisition, Zach Ertz. I think with another week of practice in that offense, his number's only 3 receptions, and he's been over that 4 out of 5 games this year, regardless. So I just jumped all over that. I think Ertz goes over 3 catches tonight in this one.
I like that, and Ertz got a little bit more acclimated, obviously, last week as the game went on. I am going to go back to the Packers side. I agree with you about Aaron Jones. I just feel like he's going to get a touchdown somewhere. I do feel like Green Bay will be able to move the ball a little bit here, and that they'll finish a drive with Aaron Jones. The number is half a touchdown. To
Rush
me,
touchdown now.
A rushing. You're right. That could affect it, and I'll be irritated if it's a screen or something like that. But I do think that there could be a rushing touchdown in there, so I was going to go with that. Again, when you're talking about half a touchdown for your lead back, typically I feel like the play is to go over on that one. But looking at the rest of it, Aaron Rodgers, the passing yards, I didn't really know what to do with that. I know the assumption is going to be that they will run the ball more. And he won't rack up huge yardage, but also he's great. He's great in these national TV games, and he has made receivers out of a lot of guys who did not have reputations when they came there, kind of including Davante Adams. Actually, like it's not like they've drafted a ton of first-round receivers over the years. That's been one of the big issues there. So I still feel like he could go over. I don't know about Murray's number. I mean, we're looking at Rodgers' number 263.5, Murray at 269.5. I don't know. It's close to the line with me with Murray. I think he's going to be around that area. I don't know that I would play it.
Yeah, same thing. I don't think Green Bay's pass defense is really that good, but that's a pretty big number. And I think he'll have some yards on the ground as well for Kyler Murray. But it's an interesting game with DeAndre Hopkins. He's a little bit limited with a hamstring injury. He is going to play, and his number, he's always, like you said, a guy in prime time is going to be DeAndre Hopkins. He seems to always show up in the big games. I went ahead and took him over 64.5 yards anyway. If he plays, I think he's going to play well.
Yeah, I can see it. I think that one makes sense. There is NBA here, though, too. I know a lot of our folks are NBA fans. We don't have a Heat game tonight, but a bunch of good games on the slate. And just one just that jumped out to me that I'm going to play, because one of the points we want to make to everybody is that you can play players from different sports. You don't have to just rack up NFL guys. You go NFL and NBA. Both I was looking at that Atlanta-Washington game, was interesting to me. Both the Trae Young and the Bradley Beal 25.5 look to me like numbers that could go over. But the one I think is the best value of all of them is John Collins at 15.5. Washington's front court doesn't really defend that well. I feel like we could, I feel like Collins could be in the high teens. You see there that he's been over that, 3 of the last 5. I would trend over again on him. He tends to be a little bit inconsistent, but I think 15.5 is definitely doable against Washington. Did anything jump out to you on the NBA board?
Yeah, I've been kind of watching some of these West Coast games.
Mm.
A lot of high-scoring games. A lot of guys shooting threes out there. It seems. I actually went on the underside. I went Jordan Poole from Golden State under 2.5 threes. You look at his line.
Mm-hmm.
He's only been over that once this entire season, and he hasn't really been close the rest of the game. So, and he was 0 for 7 in his last game. He's kind of in a shooting slump, and he's only shooting 24% from 3 this year. So I don't usually play the unders like you. I'm kind of a fan of the overs. I'd like to see guys perform, but you got to look at the trends and the metrics, and I think 2.5 might be a tough number for him. So I took Jordan Poole under 2.5 threes tonight.
Yeah, he doesn't look like he's going to be able to replicate the preseason success, at least at the beginning. So I'm with you on that one. And yeah, you can't play your favorite bet today, which is your NHL bet, because the Panthers are not playing. Your Bennett bet. And you know what? We don't want to say that too loud because we don't want them to change the prop on that one.
Yeah, don't raise that number, Brett.
Don't. We're gonna keep that. That's the thing. You can find hidden value here for a period of time. Eventually, they do catch up to you. Mm-hmm. So if you see something you like, then you play it.
Even on a daily basis, like the Randall Cobb with Devontae Adams being out, I mean, his number jumped up like 16 yards, right away. Yep. So get in early. Keep an eye on the injury reports and stuff like that, because they're watching, and the boards are very fluid, and PrizePicks does a really good job of setting these numbers. I mean, you look at their projections, and they're usually pretty on the money.
Yeah. I have lost some bad beats at the very last minute, but we don't want to say that too loud because we do want people to know they can win. It is possible if you do the study on it. Go to PrizePicks.com, use the PrizePicks.com, use the code 5, F-I-V-E, deposit $20 and get yourself started. We'll be back before the next Heat game. They're playing Charlotte on Friday. Should be interesting to see where some of these numbers come in. The hero number may come down a little bit from where it's been because he hasn't scored as much the past couple of games. For David Eversole, I'm Ethan Skolnick. Use that code, F-I-V-E, PrizePicks.com.